You really want to hold on to Allah, you got to hold on to His robes. So He made them synonymous.
There are many.
I did feel that if I lose the Quran, I lose Allah. Because you can have a concept of God, right? And different religions have a concept of God. You can even philosophically say there's the force.
Yeah.
The
universe.
The universe. The thing that made me love the Quran was one part of it, what it did for me. It liberated me. The other thing that made me love the Quran is like through that dawrah of the Quran, I felt like I wasn't reading the Quran was reading me. Like Allah is talking to me personally. Why am I this important that Allah would talk to me personally and make me feel like He's talking to me personally? Right? But one of the things the Quran did for me is it liberated me from the opinions of others. It doesn't much matter what someone thinks of me so long as I'm good with Allah. Like Allah does not see me as a disappointment. Confidence. I was the quietest guy in high school. People didn't know what my voice sounded like. I was the shy person. I almost failed public speaking. The first of them was how it untied my knots. Like what I thought about religion, what I thought about God, what I thought about purpose. Just unraveled them. Even though again I had some connection to Islam now. Before the Quran, my mind was occupied with graduation and getting a job, and even though I had a job, but moving on in your career, marriage, money, savings, car, house, these were the things on my mind. Just constantly, that's what I was thinking about, making my parents proud. And the Quran came along and said, yeah, those are all nice things, but they're so small. Like, why is your world so small? Your reality, you were made for something so much bigger. And all of a sudden, my world became bigger because I was listening to the Quran. Like I realized how small I was keeping myself. It's like it freed me from thinking small. And the other thing that came with that is, I don't even know how that happened, but I know it only happened because of the Quran. Confidence. I was the quietest guy in high school. People didn't know what my voice sounded like. I was the shy person. I almost failed public speaking class. And first semester of college. Like I didn't know how to speak. I had to take this elective. It was the only one that fit in my schedule. I was like, oh my God, public speaking, how am I going to do this? And even when Dr. Abdul Sami asked me to give a khutbah, fast forward, for the first time, I was shaking like this, right? But one of the things the Quran did for me is it liberated me from the opinions of others. It doesn't much matter what someone thinks of me so long as I'm good with Allah. Like Allah does not see me as a disappointment. Everybody else is welcome to be disappointed. It is so liberating. It's so liberating. Like I come from a culture, Muslims come from a culture, we always think about what people think. Now I'm in the middle of New York City. It's Maghrib time and I'm on Park Avenue. I got nowhere to, I make wudu with a water bottle and I'm praying on the side of the street. And people are walking by laughing. People are walking by making comments. I don't care. I'm standing and making salah. And in the beginning, it used to feel like, oh my God, what are people thinking? What are they going to say? What are they going to say? Then the world just became invisible. Like it's just you and Allah. That's it. What else does matter? The thing that made me love the Quran was one part of it, what it did for me. It liberated me. The other thing that made me love the Quran is like through that dawrah of the Quran, I felt like I wasn't reading the Quran was reading me. Like Allah is talking to me personally. Why am I this important that Allah would talk to me personally and make me feel like He's talking to me personally? Like I'm a nobody. I'm not the confident guy. I'm not the popular guy. I'm not the successful guy. Why would Allah talk to me? Why would I be important? Like I felt like Allah has given me a lot of importance by speaking to me in this way, by speaking in the Quran this way. So it was humbling and elevating at the same time. SubhanAllah.
You said you were going to school full time, working full time, but still finding time to learn Arabic.
Yeah.
What made you hold on to this?
It was Dr. Sami. I saw that man feeling what the Quran is saying, and then he could make me feel what the Quran is saying. And I was like, well, I need to feel what he feels. I can't let go of this connection, and I don't want to be dependent on him. Like, how does he get that from this book? And I realized, because I had already tried to struggle through a translation, I'm going to need to have direct access. So I just became obsessed with this idea that Arabic is my stepping stone to accessing Allah speaking to me directly. I don't put that on anybody else. I need it. I did feel that if I lose the Quran, I lose Allah. Because you can have a concept of God, right? And different religions have a concept of God. You can even philosophically say there's the force.
Yeah.
The universe. Or, it's some things out there. Some being is out there or something. People give different names to it. But the Quran isn't just about the existence of a God. It's actually not just that He exists, but He wants a direct relationship with you. He wants you to know Him the way He wants you to know Him. Instead of me philosophizing what He's like, instead of me theorizing what He must be, what He must want, what am I doing here? He's telling me. And He's telling me with so much love, right? Like, I know people say they have a spiritual connection with God, and fitrah is there and you can have that. But for me, I don't know if anything can ever do what the Quran does, right? It's when Allah calls it, one of my favorite places in the Quran, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ, in Surah Al-Imran, hold on to the rope of Allah, a reference to the Quran, because one end of it is with Allah, the other end of it is with us. But the other place in the Quran is وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِاللَّهِ, in Surah Al-Hajj, hold on to Allah. And those two phrases, hold on to the rope of Allah, hold on to Allah, it's as if it's the same thing. You really want to hold on to Allah, you got to hold on to His rope. So He made them synonymous.
There are many people whose lives are completely transformed by your means. And from the ones you remember, which of them affected you the most emotionally? It can be from either non-Muslims or Muslims that came up to you and said something.
I was teaching in Copenhagen, and this father and daughter traveled to come take the class with me. The daughter, a young lady, she was graduated college, and they listened to me together. So they came, they took the course, a really lovely gentleman, and he made so much dua for me, so much dua for me, so much dua for me. And then I was going to come back 6 months later and teach a follow-up. So I came to teach the follow-up, the daughter was there, the father wasn't there. And she came to me and she handed me a portable prayer mat and said, my father died, but even before he died, he was listening to you and he was making dua for you. And he got this gift for you, he never got a chance to give it to you. And I just, there are moments like that, I know I don't deserve them. I know that. Like, those are some amazing souls. There are some incredible, incredible human beings. Just now in our WhatsApp group, my team, there were some people dedicated to translating our work. Some of them are translating in Turkish. Yeah. One of them was someone who lost her home in the earthquake, and she was still translating while being homeless as a volunteer. I look at these people and I just pray that their goodness, because I can feel that their goodness is so much greater than my own. Their closeness to Allah, their love of Allah. I think it's, instead of me being an inspiration for them, they're an inspiration for me. That's honestly how I see it. And I pray that not only that I'm benefiting them, that in the akhirah they can benefit me, because they far outshine anything I could do. SubhanAllah.